Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm recording this on November 8th, 2025, 2 days before the 50th anniversary of the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Now, the picture you're seeing, I got through Wikipedia, in case you're wondering. Now, the reason I'm making this video is to explain the title. So here's my issue with the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Something doesn't add up. I know that's kind of a loaded statement. You see, here's the thing. The ship sank November 10th, 1975. When it sank, they immediately figured out where the wreck was because of I think there was a Coast Guard plane or a Navy plane or some plane flew over the site and was able to, through the water, detect two pieces of wreckage. Now, herein starts the problems. So, 1976, they did a survey of the wreckage. They found two pieces, the bow and the stern. The bow, and I will be rounding up, by the way. The bow, actually, strike that. One section measures 280 feet. One section measures 250 feet. That is 530 feet. When the Edmund Fitzgerald left port for final voyage, she measured 730 feet. There is 200 feet of the ship that's missing. Now, for me, I will leave theories about how the ship sank to people who are more educated than I am on the subject, if so to speak. But for me, the fact that there's 200 feet of the ship that is not accounted for leads me to two theories. One, the measurements from the 1976 survey are wrong. Or there's 200 feet of the ship lying somewhere on the bottom of Lake Superior. Most likely nearby the other two pieces of wreckage that have already been discovered, already been surveyed, already well known. Because the only other likely scenario is that the middle of the ship completely disintegrated. However, that's the most unlikely because if there was enough force to disintegrate the middle of the ship, it would have disintegrated the entire ship. And for the record, yes, I know the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald is a gravesite. I'm well aware of that. However, we do have underwater drones that could be put in the lake above the wreck site, and just those drones, you just put them in, they go to work. When their work is done, they come up to the surface, you collect the data, and then there you go. So yes, I think that an expedition should be made to the Edmund Fitzgerald's wreck to solve that piece of the puzzle, pun intended. Because yeah, like I said, there's 200 feet of the ship that is missing, and I'll say it one more time. Either the measurements from the 1976 survey are wrong, or there's 200 feet of the Edmund Fitzgerald that is unaccounted for. And it is possible that if there is 200 feet of the ship that's missing, it could give us some clues to how the ship went down. Because, and the reason I say that is because there's a possibility that that 200 feet of ship that's missing might be buried under the sediment at the bottom of Lake Superior. But, you know, all I can say is I have looked at the data. The numbers don't add up. And I think that that is something that should be looked into. Okay? And also, let me just remind everybody that it is a tragedy. It has been declared a gravesite. And the entire crew lost their lives when the ship went down. So, you know, I'm trying to treat this subject with as much deference as I possibly can. Okay? But that said, that's the end of this video. And for the record, I will say I am hoping it goes viral. But you know, that's that. So I'll see you all next time.